What is going on, guys? Alright, so today we are going to talk about the Ninja 650 and is it really a good touring motorcycle? You know, it is advertised. No, that light literally just changed. The bike is advertised as a touring motorcycle, but it looks like a sports bike. So how comfortable can this bike really be for touring, and can you really use it for touring? I actually, I'm sorry, side note, so I made this video before, but I want to redo it because I have recently done another trip. And so when I first made it, I only had the one trip that I'll talk about, but this time I have two trips that, you know, we'll talk about. And but first off, something really interesting happened on the last video, and I'm going to share this clip. And for my people, come on, that was my fault. That was my fault too. But for the subs, real quick, I'm going to play this clip, and if you'd like, I would like you to comment down below what the 3 contributing factors are that could have led to this accident. So very rarely is an accident, there's just one reason for the accident. A lot of times there's multiple reasons. You know, you're going too fast down the road, this guy didn't see you, I had to brake, maybe I was flying and I didn't see him and I wasn't paying attention. So you got like 3 things going on, 3 contributing factors, and maybe the sun was in his eye, that could have been a 4th one. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to play this. I think that there are 3 things that led up to this accident, or almost accident. So comment down below what you think that those are. Not that long of a distance to some people, but it was long enough for me to kind of understand where I stand on the bike. Whoa, you guys caught that in real time. That got squirrely as hell. Glad I didn't grab a fistful of brake through that. That's how accidents happen. Woo! Anyways, we were talking about, now let's get back into the Ninja 650 and is it a good touring motorcycle. So I think whenever people first get into touring or whatever, they want to know, is the motorcycle that they're about to ride on comfortable? Now, if you see my videos before, you know that I love the 650 and that I will say that it is an extremely comfortable motorcycle. But being on a bike for 2 hours is a lot different than being on the bike for 6-7 hours. So what is the bike really like after that extensive amount of time? Now, the reason why I wanted to remake this video is because I kind of had 2 weird experiences with it. Now, the first trip that I did, I live in Pittsburgh. I went from Pittsburgh to Lake Erie, and it was like a 2.5 hour ride. It was what was it, 147 miles one way. So what's that, 294 miles. Now that was all interstate riding, and I was more sore on that trip than I was on my second trip that I went to, when I went from Pittsburgh to Gettysburg, from Gettysburg to Harrisburg, and a giant loop around. And I think a lot of that had to do with possibly vibration. You know, it is the Ninja 650 is a parallel twin, and parallel twins are very prone to having a lot of vibration. It is what it is. It's just how the motorcycle is made, and because of that, I kind of think that a lot of that vibration kind of contributed to me being a little bit sore. The other thing that I think contributed to me being sore is the fact that it was just straight, and I was just like this, you know, the whole time. Whereas Gettysburg I took a nice Route 30, and it was twisty. It's pretty much kind of like this. You guys see it here in a little while whenever I upload the video. And I think just because there was a little bit more moving around, is I felt a lot more comfortable, because the whole trip for Lake Erie was like 6 hours, 7 hours, and the whole trip for Greensburg was 12 hours. And that's 12 hours riding straight. Like, I really didn't stop. And you know, even with that though, that 12 hours, I was really comfortable. Now, we've mentioned before that, you know, they're never going to give you like the best seat right away, and there's always room for upgrades. I'm also coming from a completely stock point of view. I don't have any extras on this motorcycle. The only one I have is my phone mount, which almost cost me on my phone. But as a stock bike, I was really comfortable. I didn't have any problems really as far as, you know, being comfortable. There are a couple things that I did notice, and one of them was vibrations, and I felt the most vibrations in my hands and in my feet. And again, a lot of that seemed to be whenever I was on like more highway roads or interstate roads, where it seemed like the vibrations were a little bit more pronounced. But that can all be mitigated whenever you change your boots, like you have better boots or you have better gloves. I know somebody commented below that they want to get some kind of handlebars. Yeah, that would probably help too, or grips rather. Yeah, that would probably help too. But all in all, as far as being comfortable, I think the Ninja 650 is really comfortable for that. With the ergonomics and the just geometry of your body position, you're super upright. If you've done research on the 650, or if you watched this channel for a while, or you watch a bunch of 650 reviews, you know that everybody and their brother says the same thing of how comfortable this bike is because of the ergonomics. It's super upright position. I mean, you can just put your hands out. The handlebars are right here. My feet are right below me. You know, they're not tucked back. They're also not tucked forward because it's not a cruiser. But all in all, stock, the bike is very comfortable, and I didn't have any issues. The only other issue that I think that I had was my legs kind of being a little bit cramped. And we're gonna go ahead and take my favorite turn, and then we'll be right back. Stick it up, apex, but you know, I think a lot of that crampiness had to do with my gear. So I wear regular jeans, and over top of those jeans I wear riding jeans or riding overalls, whatever you want to call them, and they kind of bunch up a little bit. And I think that kind of bunched up action is kind of what was making my legs a little cramped, or felt like they were cramped. But you know, that's just kind of like a gear thing. You could get better gear, more comfortable fitting gear to really help mitigate that, you know. So I think that is definitely something that can be fixed or adjusted in the future for me for riding, you know. The other thing that people might want to know with the 650 is, you know, its fuel consumption. Now, I had a duh moment, and I'll share that here in a second, but as far as regular fuel consumption goes, this bike is fantastic. Now, what's really cool about, and why I'm so happy that I'm remaking this video, is because my first trip's fuel consumption was a lot different than my second trip's fuel consumption. So the first one, we went to Erie, we rode 79 north for whatever miles it was, and I think I spent $4, $7, $8, $9, $10, like $11 in gas or something like that. once you get this bike on the interstate and you're just kind of chilling, they will go forever. Like, they will just keep going. The second trip that I went on to Gettysburg and Harrisburg and all that was a lot more windy kind of roads, and the fuel consumption was still great. I think all in all I did 450 miles in 12 hours on that trip, and I spent $33 total in gas, which still isn't bad considering what I was doing. But as far as like just general fuel consumption on this vehicle, it is awesome. The thing that I wanted to mention about the duh moment that I had is, because this bike looks like a sports bike, a lot of people ride it like a sports bike with pulls or whatever. And pulls are fun, I get it, I have fun, I do them. But whenever I was on the interstate and I was chilling, and then I would get a wild hair at my ass and I would do a random pull, I would notice that my gas would go down pretty quickly. And like I said, that's kind of a, you know, a duh moment. But the reason why I bring that up is because that can leave you in a pretty crappy situation if you are out in like the desert or something like that, where you have to be very cognizant about your fuel consumption, because you have X amount of miles to go and the gas station is X amount of miles away, and you definitely wouldn't want to get stranded. So just understanding and being ready for that is really important. I know that's kind of like a side thing or whatever. The next thing about the 650 that I noticed is, I noticed that this most definitely is an introduction to touring motorcycles. And the reason why I say that is the weight. Now, when I first got this motorcycle, I thought it was the heaviest bike in the world. It's like 419 dry, 422, 423 wet. And when I first got it, I thought it was the heaviest bike in the world. Now that I've been riding it for a while, I feel that it is not, and I'm very, very comfortable with it. The bike feels light, or at least feels light to me, whenever I was on really big, wide roads, like wide interstates, and especially whenever I was playing with heavier traffic, like physically heavier, bigger trucks and everything. Wind turbulence off of trucks is a real thing. If you're not aware of it, kind of look into it. Pretty much it's, you know, if you're walking down the street and a car drives by you and you feel that wind, the same thing, but constant if you're behind it, and it really kind of batters you around. And a light motorcycle like this, it's shaking you around and you can feel it. But you know, as far as it being light, that doesn't mean that it's not a good bike to get. You know, again, this motorcycle is an intro bike. Now, don't get it twisted. Some people will get this bike and they won't do any long rides. That's fine. You don't have to. That is what is really awesome about the Ninja 650 is versatility. You know, you can go ahead and you can treat it like a sports bike. You can probably put clip-ons and change the pegs and really treat it as a sports bike, and it has no problem taking turns at really fun speeds. It has no problem with doing that. But you can also dress it as a touring bike. You know, you can take off the rear passenger pegs and you can put on luggage. You can carry luggage. That is one of the things that I really want to invest in. I'm going to do another video about, you know, kind of intro to touring for beginners, from the point of view of a beginner, because I'm figuring things out and I like to share them with you, especially if, you know, you're a new rider and wanting to learn about stuff like this. Learn as you go. But you can definitely dress this motorcycle up to be that touring bike that you want. You can put your bags on it. You can put a tank bag on it. It has the power to really carry all that. And that's another good thing about the 650 and touring, is the power aspect. you know, whenever you're touring, a lot of times you're going to be doing interstates and highways. This bike, I will definitely say, will get up and go in any single gear. It does not matter. I've been chilling at 70 mile an hour in 6th gear and crank it open and be over 100 in a few seconds. For safety reasons, sometimes you just have to do that, and it's nice to know that you have that ability if you so need to do that. It's just one of those extra things that's just really, really nice about the motorcycle. Again, if you're doing a touring aspect of it, I think another really nice sorry, let me do this real quick. I think another really nice thing about this bike is that you can upgrade it also electronically. One of the things that I really want to get for this bike is there's a little AC or a little plug-in there that you can wire like a charging port to, and I definitely want to invest in something like that. But also, on the side note, not only do I want to invest in that, I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start really paying it, or I'm going to start getting maps and mapping everything out and kind of using my GPS as a last resort. I think it'll overall make me a more confident traveler, explorer, whatever, because technology fails. On my Gettysburg trip, I seen a random park and it was off the beaten path, and I wanted to go check it out. It was about a half hour out of my way or whatever, and when I got there, I couldn't find anything of any use. So I'm like, well, I don't understand, what is it then? So I got on the internet, or tried to get on the internet, and I had no internet. I had no service. And that's the kind of thing that can really, really happen to you. So just being able to, you know, have a physical map is really, really nice. Sorry, I know I went off on a little tangent thing there. I'm trying to think of the other points I wanted to make. We're actually coming up on that thing that I almost dumped my bike. Let me actually do this really quick, and I will be right back with you. Also, let me think of the next point, because I can't remember right now. I'm drawing a blank. That was kind of wide. There it was. Almost ate shit right there. Or was it there? It wasn't there. No, somewhere. Okay, anyway, back to touring. The Ninja 650, and is it a good touring motorcycle? Let's see. Yeah, you know, I still really do think that it is. Again, it is an introduction to touring, and that's okay, because you're going to make mistakes. You know, you're going to drop the bike, or you're going to do something, and it's always nice to be able to do that on a less expensive piece of equipment. It still sucks when that happens. 603 vibes, I'm real sorry that your boy dropped your bike, man. I would give him one of these, but you know, it's gonna happen. Now, if you can financially swing it to get like 1000 SX, that's your call. I mean, there's pros and cons of getting a bigger bike before you get a smaller bike, but you know, that's all on your research and everything, you know, you have to do. The other thing that's really, really nice about the Ninja 650 is that it is mechanically sound. This motorcycle, it's just a fantastically built, is that a word? It is a fantastically, yeah, I guess, built motorcycle. It's just built very well. I mean, I've seen so many guys at these meetups that I've been doing that have Triumphs, and they buy a brand new Triumph motorcycle and the damn thing's in the shop after putting 20 miles on it. It's crazy. I would be so pissed if that happened to me. But because it's so mechanically sound, that peace of mind to know that your bike is a good bike will help you just have a better time. It's my boy, he was straight staring. It'll just help you have a better time too. One of the things that I bought for the bike that I was so happy that I pulled the trigger on was a jump pack. It's a jump pack, and it's also a tire inflation kit, and I bought plugs and stuff because a flat tire is a very common thing to happen. Just having peace of mind will just make the trip all in all better. It'll make you have more fun, it'll make you think clearer, and when you think clearer, you make better overall decisions. And you know, that's really important, and just having fun is important in general. I kind of feel like I'm forgetting something, and if I am forgetting something, I'm going to do one of those stupid jumps and be like, oh hey, by the way, here it is. So if I do that, I'm going to leave a gap here, and then I'll insert it. If not, then let's just continue. I mean, yeah, I don't know, dude. I really like my 650. I plan on taking it on another decent trip. I am going to Washington, D.C. I'm going to Washington, D.C., guys. So if you have anything you want me to tell the president, put it in the comments and I'll let him know. I'll say, hey, City Ninja and his gazelles, they want to ask you something right quick. It's about the student loan aid. I'm so happy I got that taken care of. Yep, screw that. But yeah, I think I'll let you guys go because I don't want to just drag this video out for absolutely no reason, but I just want to make sure that I covered all the points that I wanted to cover. It's comfortable, the whole vibration thing, you feel it in your legs, you feel it in your feet. The fuel consumption's good. Watch out for your pulls. It's very mechanically sound, so that'll give you peace of mind. I had my turn signal on for how long? This is a weird area. How did I get down there before? And that seems so out of place too. Like, I was just driving and all that, and then that is just like there and out of place, I think. It's mechanically sound. There's a stop sign. The brakes are really good on it. It's just a very well built bike. I mean, it really is, guys. If you're in the market for a motorcycle that you can rip around the streets, and or you can take it long distances, this is the freaking bike, man. It really is. I mean, it is literally the best of all the worlds. It looks like a sports bike, it behaves like a sports bike, as well as a touring motorcycle. I'll be honest, I'm kind of like 50-50 with how I treat my bike. I do kind of go fast sometimes and get into some lanes, but you know, I really want to just keep it as like a touring bike because touring is my thing. It's what I really like to do. I would love to take this thing to Utah if I can, and I still got my vacation coming up, so I got to figure out where I'm going with that. But yeah, I'm sorry. I will let you guys go, but let me know what your thoughts are on the 650, just overall experience with it, because I mean, I personally love it, and I think it is a fantastic touring bike, and I think it can be used as one. You know, sure, yeah, you're gonna want to upgrade, or maybe not, but yeah, you probably want to upgrade. I definitely want to upgrade here in the future. What is this, a zombie? I want to upgrade in the future. I would love to have a 1000 SX, and you know, maybe one day I'll get that. But this is a perfect motorcycle for me to really learn the basics of it, and you know, really get out of my comfort zone. Touring on your motorcycle is such an interesting thing. You're by yourself. You're going out of your way. You're putting yourself in situations that you have to constantly adjust to, for the only purpose to see what's around the corner. And I think that's fun. I think that is the fun part of touring on these motorcycles. But do this turn and we'll get out of here. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, or if it was somewhat educational to you, drop a like, drop a comment, and consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Basically, what this channel does is I want to give point of view information to new riders from the point of view of a new rider, and that's kind of where I'm coming from. So I'm not going to tell you, oh, you got to buy this, 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 and this. You know what I mean? It's one poor man's experiences to the next poor man's experience. But thank you guys. I will see you later. Well guys, it's finally happened to me. I got caught in the rain at that. I don't even care. I really don't even care about the truck right there. To say 5 miles, steep grade, dangerous curves. Trucks must stop here. You're here. Save a life. Drop a gear.